Hi everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. This is my review of The Good Sister. As with most of my reviews, this is going to be spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about me spoiling a thriller book for you. I will be talking about the synopsis, but it won't contain any spoilers. I'll make it as vague as possible because I know that some people, like myself, don't like to read synopses for thrillers. So I'm going to start with the synopsis first, and then I'm going to get on to my thoughts and feelings about the book. So The Good Sister is about two twin sisters called Fern and Rose. For the majority of the book, we follow Fern as she works in the library, and then she meets someone who kind of disrupts her normal routine and things kick off from there. We also get a glimpse of Rose's life through her journal entries, and we learn that the two women have a secret or two. Some years ago in the past, Fern did something very, very bad while the girls were living with their abusive mother, and so Rose has been forced to keep that secret for her. That's all I'm going to say about the synopsis, because I think if I go into any more detail about that, it's just going to get spoiled for you and it will ruin the entire book. So that's that. I'm going to talk about my thoughts and feelings on the book now. So this is my first book by Sally Hepworth. I've never actually heard of him before, and I'm really impressed. I really enjoyed this book. It was so much fun. It was fast-paced, it was mind-bending and twisting. The quality of it was just fantastic. It was a really good thriller. I wanted to talk quite a bit about the main character Fern, because she's someone that I both related to and saw a lot of my siblings in as well. Fern is undiagnosed, but she is probably on the spectrum, and I have to say the autism rep in this one, if that's what it is, because like I said, the character is undiagnosed because of reasons. The representation in this book is fantastic. It's one of the best autism reps that I've ever seen in books. I think we need more of this in genre fiction rather than just like literary or YA contemporary, and there's not much in those genres to begin with, but if there was more autism rep in fantasy books, in thrillers especially, I think I would love them so much more, because it's one of the reasons why I enjoyed this book so much. I think Sally Hepworth did a fantastic job with Fern's character. I think she handled the character's mental health and neurodiversity very respectfully, and I don't know what kind of experience Sally Hepworth has with autism or people with autism, autistic people, however you want to refer to yourself, but I think she handled it really well. And in addition to making Fern a very interesting character and having that representation, it also made for a very interesting plot, but at the same time it wasn't just there to make the plot go forward and to make the suspense more intriguing. It was handled really well, and it wasn't just thrown in there for the fun of it, because I think sometimes thrillers do that, and they use mental health or neurodiversity as like a twist or something exciting when that doesn't have to be the case. I also really enjoyed the romance in this book, and that sounds really weird because this is a thriller and most thriller books don't tend to have like a really good relationship, anything cutesy or anything like that, but this one was really nice. So Fern meets someone called Wally. That's not his real name, but that's her nickname for him, and he's just very, again, respectful and understanding, and he also has some sensory issues like Fern has, and so he really understands her, and even when he doesn't have the same challenges that she does, he still makes an effort to really understand where she's coming from and to kind of make allowances for her or to adapt things so that she can do stuff like going to restaurants. She struggles with that, so he tries to figure that out for her to make sure there's a way that she gets to experience things and do things that she really wants to do. And I just loved the relationship. I thought it was really sweet. He clearly cared for her, she really cared for him as well. It was just kind of adorable, and that was quite surprising for me in a thriller, because I don't go into thrillers looking for a good romantic relationship. Normally they're quite abusive or manipulative, but this one was really lovely, and I really appreciate that. So as for the plot, which is obviously what most people go into thrillers for, and is probably what most of you will probably be interested in, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well laid out, it was very well written. The pacing was fantastic, there was never a dull moment, and halfway through you just start to wonder what the hell is happening and if you've got the wrong end of the stick or if there's something more that you're not really understanding. I'm not going to go into detail on this because it would spoil things, and I really don't want to do that. I want you to experience this book the same way I did. But yeah, like I said, it was just very twisty, and I think the author handled it really well, because I was kind of questioning myself and my feelings about this book, and then it started to click about halfway through, and I started to wonder, but I was also wondering about things alongside the main character, so I wasn't ahead of the game or anything with her. I was kind of learning things alongside her, so there was no like moments where I was thinking, Fern, you need to catch up, you're like being really silly here, or you're not catching on fast enough. I was actually doing or learning things alongside her, so I was catching on in pretty much the same moments she was, or at least the same moments that Wally was. It sounds really weird calling him Wally, but I can't call him Rocco. It sounds even stranger. I did find the relationship between Rose, Fern and their mother to be quite difficult for me to read. She is portrayed in Rose's diaries to be very abusive and manipulative, and that was very, very hard for me to witness. So I was quite glad that that wasn't the majority of the plot, but at the same time I understand why it had to be in there and why it was kind of necessary for Rose to talk about her mother that way. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but yeah, her mother was manipulative and abusive in the diaries, and it was hard. It was hard for me to read. But like I said, thankfully it's not the majority of the plot. Most of this plot is surrounding Fern and also her relationship with Wally and also Rose. I really enjoyed reading Rose's diary as well. That was kind of interspersed between Fern's chapters in shorter chunks than Fern's story, and we got to learn what the girl's secret was, what Fern did back in the day and what kind of led up to it, and what the girls were experiencing as well when they were children. So that was a lot of fun to read about as well. I really liked that technique of building up the backstory alongside the main current day storyline, if that makes sense. So yeah, this book had a lot of things that I would like to see more in thrillers, really good relationships and mind-bendy, twisty stuff that kind of leaves you thinking and wondering if what you're reading about is real or not. Overall, I just really enjoyed this book and I'm very impressed. I don't know if Sally Hepworth has written any more books. I'm going to have to look this up, 1 second. Okay, she has written quite a few and it looks like some of them are thrillers. She's done The Mother's Promise, The Mother-in-Law, which I have seen actually, and The Family Next Door, as well as a few others. That's German. Yeah, I don't know if she's solely a thriller writer, but I'm definitely going to check out more of her thrillers because I think she did a great job with this one, and I'd also be interested to see whether there's more autism rep in her other books. I'm not sure if there is, because I'm not sure if that's something that she actively tries to portray or if this is just kind of a one-off, but that's something that I would definitely be interested in. So that's it for my review of The Good Sister. It's coming out in April in the US and September, I think, in the UK. We're a little bit behind, but I'm definitely going to be recommending this one to people who enjoy mind-bendy thrillers and also interesting family relationships, because this one was definitely quite interesting. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you all in the next one. Bye.